Hello everyone, it is I, Crocodile99. Welcome to Python Week. Now to start Python Week, today is all about the Bolen's Python. Welcome you back, Reptile Planet. Okay, now the Bolen's python is a very well-known python species, basically described for their impressive large sizes, their dark coloration, and iridescent scales. But they're also very rare to see in captivity due to their challenges when it comes to housing them as well as breeding them. But they're definitely very popular amongst conservationists as well as reptile breeders and wild and animal enthusiasts. So many people across the globe will be tremendous to see these pythons up close and personal, but like I said, their rarity in captivity makes it a little more of a challenge. If you want to learn more, here you go. Now, Bolen's pythons can be found in the lush montane rainforest of Papua New Guinea. So basically these pythons do spend a lot of their time in rainforest areas, but basically either on the ground or up in trees. You can find them on either or. So these pythons with a lot of tree cover, a lot of place for the hide, makes it a very elusive python species. You're trying to encounter one in the wild in its native range. But these pythons populations are under threat due to illegal pet trade as well as habitat loss, so it makes these pythons becoming a little more challenging to locate if you're out there in the wild. If you want to learn more, here you go. Now, when it comes to coloration, Bolen's pythons, well as the coloration, also their size. Bolen's pythons can go to around 6 to 8 feet long, making them kind of like a medium-sized python species. But when it comes to coloration, they have a very beautiful glossy black or brown coloration, which reflect under the sunlight, have this lovely iridescence, will give it a lot of blue or purple hue coloration when glistening under the sunlight. As for their underside or the ventral side, it can have a creamy or white coloration on the underside, giving these snakes a good camouflage to help hide from potential predators and also be able to ambush some potential prey. If you want to learn more, you go. Now, Bolen's pythons, although very interesting to see in daylight, but in daylight they'll basically be hiding somewhere because these snakes are more to be nocturnal than diurnal, so they'll be active more at night. So once sundown happens, it's pitch black, these snakes are on the prowl. So when it comes to hunting their prey, they'll consume a variety of different prey of small mammals, even birds. So basically they'll consume mice, rats, bats, basically around that range. Now, like many python species, they are ambush predators, so then technically they wait for their prey to come to them rather than, going to them. So basically they do lie in wait using their sense of smell to detect prey, and also using their ambush abilities to basically surprise their prey, capture them, and that way they have an easy meal. If you want to learn more, here you go. Now, in terms of the breeding season, Bolen's pythons definitely will only come together during the breeding season, as they are normally very solitary animals. But during the breeding season does initiate between early fall to late summer to early fall, which is basically around the cooler months. So once that has been basically gone around, female Bolen's pythons will lay around 10 to 20 eggs. But this is basically unique for snakes because a lot of snakes will tend to lay their eggs and basically bend the site where they laid them. Pythons, on the other hand, they will lay their eggs and basically coil around them in order to protect them from potential predators, also incubate the eggs before they hatch. So females will wrap around the eggs and basically develop a twitching motion. That way they can control the temperature as the eggs begin to develop. And once the snakes are fully hatched, they are on their own and completely independent, and the mother's protective instincts are basically diminished and she goes off to find food elsewhere. If you want to learn more, here you go. Now, Bolen's pythons are very spectacular snakes to see, and not only in the wild, but it also be spectacular to see them in captivity, which is very rarely ever, an issue, because basically in captivity, these snakes definitely can be very hard to find because there's a challenge which breeding them and housing them in captivity, whereas in the wild, they can be as equally as rare to find as in the wild as they are in captivity. So if you do want to see them in any chance in captivity or in the wild, it's definitely a treat to see them up close. In the wild, I do say, do not try to harass a snake. Basically, let them do their thing. You leave them alone, they leave you alone. And in captivity, it's best to try to do a lot of research to see where you can probably see these wonderful snakes if you decide to go to either reptile convention or, see a nearby show, or even if a zoo even has them on display. If you want to learn more, you go. Alright, so that is the Bolen's python, a very rare snake species and also a very spectacular one at that. I thank you guys for joining me for this week for Python Week. I'll be back later on for another episode. But in the meantime, don't forget to give the video a like, put your comments down below. Don't forget, subscribe for more content, check out my other videos, and I will see you all next time. See you later.